Pretty much it was a happy accident that I ended up doing journalism. I was at a big rock station on the west coast of Florida, and I had become news director, and we would kill major, huge stories. So we started getting big awards for it. That ended up on hundreds of stations, then to New York, and then I launched a channel on Sirius XM, a satellite service, and got to do a lot of cool stuff, and hopefully touch some lives.
It's the Cary Harrison Show.
Cary Harrison.
Think green.
You're watching Harrison, who is really cool.
So when I'm on the radio, I'm teaching. I'm not, it might be entertaining, it might be this, it might be that. Some people might be smoking or making dinner or driving or texting or whatever they're doing, but it's teaching. The whole point is transferring usable information on an entertainment platter so that people can all eat it.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, Thomas. Welcome to the show. I'm gonna ask you a few questions about the school. Is that okay?
Yep.
What do you think about Institute Montana?
Well, one thing that really points out to me is the Cambridge education system. I think it's a great way for kids to learn.
That's nice. What is your favorite subject?
Personally, for me, I like science.
I'm just gonna jump in. I love science too. So it's the science of the audience here. You mentioned Cambridge educational. If I had never come to Montana, what would my life be like? I don't know. I only know the life that I have because I did go to Montana. And I have to pay back. I have to give it back. I have to give it back. That was what I was taught here. You can only keep it if you give it away. It's a paradox. It makes no sense. But for some reason, the more you give it away, the more you get it back. And it's enriching. I'm relatively happy. I'm inspired. So whatever the alchemy is that happens here, I think it took. So your job as broadcasters is also to educate the audience, hook us emotionally, and bring us into your world. I have seen kids in 3 days become the next international news anchors because they get what they're doing. All right, you guys, you're doing great. You're like sponges for information. So I think awesome. The interviews and the teaching are almost the same thing. When I'm interviewing someone, I'm pulling specific information out of them that everyone else gets to hear.
Why is it that your English is better than the president's?
I have to use my speech as a vehicle to work.
So it's almost like people are listening in through the wall with a glass to hear what's being said on the other side that they're not supposed to hear.
Montana didn't just shape his career, it shaped the way he sees and listens to the world.
Wow. Such good memories, Kurt. You could hike all over here, even skiing. It was not fast skiing, but it was fun skiing and sledding too. And just all this beautiful landscape that is still untouched. Maybe that's the magic of Switzerland. It stays perfect forever.
When Cary arrived in the mid-70s, he didn't have a direction. He found one here, in the rhythm of the school, the structures of the days, and the teachers who paid attention.
We did our homework in Felsenegg, the other building down there. We had Studium, which was study hall, in the afternoons. And so we sat in there and we would study. But again, you can look out the window and it's beautiful. Here at the school, we were always taught to have critical thinking. We were always given enough of the information, but never the solution. And we had to find that gap between the information and what they asked us to discover. And with that comes an appetite for curiosity. It was a really great setting in there because we used the library also as a classroom. So you're surrounded by books. And that way, I guess you're embedded in knowledge. And in there was where I learned art and history, some German. So they used this room, and because it was surrounded by so much knowledge, you actually wondered what was in those books.
Cary learned more than academics. He learned resilience, community, and how to grow into himself.
If it hadn't been for this place, it could not have happened. I've got some yearbooks here.
Show me.
Let me give you a quick peek.
Show me.
That's Mather.
Everybody's talking about him. I wondered who he was. He's admired by everybody.
Everyone loved him. No matter where you were, no matter how far you had traveled, you would turn around and there he was.
Oh, God.
So let's pretend you had a beer. Let's just pretend you did. Yeah. In Lucerne somewhere, you would turn and there he'd be sitting there with a beer and he wouldn't say anything.
Really?
And then we would all get up and leave and you learned your lesson. It's teamwork. It's internationalism. It's the guy next to you is from Pakistan and this one's from Berlin and this one's from Denmark. And you have to learn how to be with them and walk down the hall with them and acknowledge them and share the space with them. And that is the hardest lesson I ever learned. They're the ones that teach you who you are, and you teach them back.
The boy who arrived here uncertain left, ready to step into a complicated world, not perfectly, but prepared. Cary walked away with a voice.
To people who don't know about this, what should they know?
Well, they should know that there are many banks in the United States and abroad.
You and I went to the same boarding school, Institute Montana in Switzerland.
Oh my God, you're about the third person in my life I met who actually went there.
Is it true that you really know the lyrics to F Troop?
This is a whole dimension of this guy's personality, and you create something literally from just a template, take it to that next level.
I would like to see Montana students, future ones, present ones, follow their dream. Be congruent with your nature, whatever that is. If your nature is to be a boat captain, be a boat captain. You'll be a great boat captain. Why? Because it's your heart wiring. So everyone who's ever helped me, especially the school, 4 years of nurturing, of fertilization, of sunlight, of rain, of loving teachers, of great friends. Here I am today.
But the beginning of that voice is here, in these hills. Here he learned to listen. Here he learned to speak. Here he became.